What has been the biggest surprise that you've had to deal with that you did not see coming?
I think the reality of how big personal training is and has become to the overall business, and I think if you look at statistics, the average club, because there are so many clubs and/or studios opening, that the average club is planned to lose members. So I think the focus has got to be on keeping the members that you have, but also the higher average return per member, which the revenue stream there obviously is personal training. I think that's the surprise to me, is how big that could be and how well it could be done. And we had our first club, and it was kind of the first club, I think, inside our brand that did a lot of volume with personal training, and very successful. Got a lot of airplay from corporate questions, people calling, things like that, other club owners. And we had the opportunity to open our second club closer to where we live, in a pretty rural area. I don't know if I told the story when we were when I was presenting with you guys, but it's farm town, and they have a drive your tractor to school day. Kidding. My kids went to school there. They have a drive your tractor to school day, and it was a great opportunity to be in the community where we lived and to serve the community, and it was really important to us. And my background, my expertise is operations, and I'm personal training is what I do, what I help people with. There's a lot of things Lori does in our organization. I say yes, dear. And PT, typically that's me. That's my gig. That's what I do. And when this opportunity came about, I said, and of course, through my corporate career, I was the one that said, buy this piece of dirt and put the Home Depot there. I'll make you money. And it usually worked out relatively well. So when we had this opportunity, I told Lori, I said, we're probably not going to do a lot of personal training there. And her answer was, don't be surprised. Again, this is the area where they have the drive your tractor to school day. And lo and behold, it's our highest volume personal training club. It's one of the top in the brand, and it's done that with, it's not one of the higher membership clubs in the brand, but is one of the higher PT clubs. And these guys prove that if you have a good team, good people, good experience, that you can do the unexpected. So specific to us, that was like my biggest surprise. But I think the biggest surprise for me was just how big personal training has become and how important it is. I think not really to the survival of gyms. I don't know where we would be if we didn't have personal training established like we do in our clubs right now.
Yeah, I would agree with that, especially when you talk about those bigger box clubs, because it seems like right now it's changing a little bit. The landscape seems like it's changing a little bit, and I don't claim to know a lot about that industry, but it was, ever since Planet Fitness has been a race to the bottom.
Yeah.
Some of those clubs are starting to combat that by adding more services like PT and other things to drive up their membership rates and also get a higher penetration into PT. But my question is, why do you think that particular location with the lowest number of total members in a rural drive your tractor to school day area has such high PT numbers?
I think I would give all the credit in the world to the idea that we had a good process and we train people. We train people to how we do things. We have a very specific process for personal training and how we do it, that we had already done in the previous club. So we know that it works. And, I get to help a lot of people do that. But I give all the credit in the world to the staff there. They didn't know any better.
Oh, gotcha.
I didn't tell them they couldn't do it. Lori didn't tell them they couldn't do it. One of the guys is now he's running Rick's gym in Atlanta down there. Was our training director in that club, and now I call him his little brother. Kind of took his place and is, whipping his butt in regards to sales. He'll appreciate that when he hears this. But they didn't know any better, Jim. They didn't know any better. No one told them they couldn't. We taught them the process, kind of gave them a kick in the pants, high five, take no prisoners, own the town. They've closed a competitor, a training gym across the street. They closed, but no one told them they couldn't do it. We gave them the tools. Again, this goes back to they had the talent and the heart and the ambition, and they did it. And they continue to do really great things. So it's fun to see.
Yeah, that's awesome. They didn't know that they couldn't do it. I love that answer.
I did. I doubted. I doubted the business model. I knew it'd be a pretty good location, but never dreamed that it would, be what it is and grow to the level it has. Really, all our clubs, really, but specifically this club, it's in a really fun, loving, positive way. It's weird. But they didn't know they couldn't do it, and no one told them they couldn't do it either. And they've kicked ass.